Hello, this is Dr. Mahesh Kalyan Shetty, Associate Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. In this session, we will discuss about the analysis of indeterminate beam using stiffness method. The learning outcome will be, at the end of this session, students will be able to analyze and draw bending moment diagram of indeterminate beam using stiffness method. Let us take an example of two-span continuous beam subjected to loading as shown. Now, we are aware that this is a stiffness equation which we use, where AD is the action force in the direction of deformation in the original structure. ADL is an action force in the direction of deformations due to loading in kinematically determinate structure. S is the stiffness matrix consisting stiffness coefficients, and D is the deformation matrix consisting unknown deformations. To begin with, we shall first find the degree of kinematic indeterminacy. So for that, the deformed shape we need to assume. So the rotation at B and C is only possible here, and the red dotted line shows the possible deformed shape, where it is indicated that B we have anti-clockwise rotation and at C we have clockwise rotation. Therefore, let us take dki2, theta B and theta C. So let us call the theta B as D1 and theta C as D2, and D1 we assume anti-clockwise and D2 we assume clockwise. The AD matrix is to be determined now. The AD is the action force in the direction of deformation. So since we don't have any force in the direction of theta B and theta C, therefore both the values will be 0. So AD matrix is 0, 0. Then the ADL matrix, for this we have to make all the spans fixed because we want the structure to be kinematically determinate. Therefore, let us make all the spans fixed and the fixed end moments are to be determined, and in the direction of the redundant, whatever moments are produced, those are to be considered as coefficients. So left span, you see the fixed end moment is due to the UDL, and on the right span the fixed end moment is due to point load. And at B we have two moments, ADL1L, that is from span AB, and ADL1R from span BC, and one more moment at C, that is ADL2. So ADL1 will be the summation of left and right component. So the left value will be WL square by 12 because it is a beam subjected to UDL. So the fixed end moment is WL square by 12, and the negative sign we use because this moment is clockwise and rotation at B we assumed as anti-clockwise. And at B we have ADL1R, so this is anti-clockwise, therefore it is taken as positive, and this value will be PL by 8. So the value comes out to be minus 16.66. Then ADL2 is the moment at C which is clockwise, and moment the rotation at C also we assumed it as clockwise, therefore it is positive, and it is PL by 8, 25. So the AD matrix will be ready now. Before we proceed further, let us take a review question. So two questions are posted here. One is, which of the following beam is kinematically determinate? 4 options are given. And the second question, size of the stiffness matrix is equal to, again 4 options are given. So think over it. These are the answers. The fixed beam is kinematically determinate because no rotations, no deflections are allowed at any of the node, and remaining all other beam, the degree of kinematic indeterminacy is present. Size of the stiffness matrix is equal to degree of kinematic indeterminacy always. So that's why we find dki before we start the stiffness method of analysis. Let us proceed further. So we have to find the stiffness matrix now, and for finding the stiffness matrix we have to find the stiffness coefficient by applying the unit rotation in the direction of redundants 1 by 1. So we have two redundants, theta b and theta c. So we shall apply the unit rotation in the direction of these redundants 1 by 1. So let us go for the first action, apply unit rotation in the direction of theta b. So this will be a figure. At B you can see a unit rotation is given by applying a moment 4EI by L, as the stiffness is 4EI by L. So at B we have two moments, one due to left span, one due to right span, and the magnitude is 4EI by L. So S11L is the left coefficient and S11R is the right coefficient. And at C we have one moment. This will be S21 because it is in the direction of second redundant due to first action. So these values are determined here. S11 is left plus right component, it comes out to be 1.8 EI, and S21 is minus 0.5 EI. So this negative sign we have used because the moment here S21 is anti-clockwise, but the rotation at C we assumed as clockwise. Therefore, it is to be taken as negative. Then the second action, apply unit rotation in the direction of theta c. So here you can see at C we have applied the rotation 4EI by L, and the carryover takes place towards B, which will be 2EI by L. So it is S22, and moment at B we call it as S12 because it is in the direction of first redundant due to second action. So S12 comes out to be minus 0.5 again because this S21 actually is clockwise, but the rotation at B we assumed as anti-clockwise, therefore it is minus. So S22 is 1 EI. So we get the stiffness matrix after completion of both the action. Then we shall write the stiffness equation, AD equal to ADL plus S into D. So let us write all the coefficients here. AD matrix is 0, 0, already known to us. ADL matrix is determined. Stiffness matrix we just now determined, that is to be substituted here. And after simplifying this, we shall get D1 and D2. And we get D1 as 2.68 upon EI. Positive we are getting. So therefore our assumption is correct. Therefore theta B is anti-clockwise. Whereas D2, that is theta C, we are getting negative. It means our assumption is wrong. We initially assumed it to be clockwise, but since I am getting negative answer, therefore this rotation is clockwise in nature. So both the rotation theta B and theta C are clockwise in nature. Sorry, anti-clockwise in nature. So this is how the beam will deform actually. At B, anti-clockwise rotation. At C also there is an anti-clockwise rotation. Then we shall find the end moments using slope deflection equation. So for that we will take a help of these equations. So if I consider MAB, then the equation will be MAB equal to FEMAB plus 2EI by L, 2 times theta A plus theta B minus 3 delta by L. And here the fixed end moment AB we calculated, it is 41.66, and it will be anti-clockwise at A, and anti-clockwise moments are taken negative, and anti-clockwise rotations are also taken negative in this method, and clockwise moments and clockwise rotations are to be considered as positive. So 2EI by L, L is the length of that span 5 meter, and theta A is 0. Theta B just now we calculated, it is anti-clockwise basically, therefore we have used negative sign minus 2.68 upon EI, and since we don't have any sinking of the support, therefore the last term will be 0, and we obtain MAB as minus 42.732. In the same way we can write the equation for MPA and substitute the values. We find this as 43.804 kilonewton meter. So applying the slope deflection equation to all the spans, we get MBC. Of course MBA and MBC shall be same with opposite sign. So MBC we are getting minus 43.804 kilonewton meter. So after getting all these moments, we shall draw the free body diagram. So at A we have MAB, so MAB is minus 42. So since it is minus, therefore I shall show it anti-clockwise moment at A, minus 42.732. Then BA is plus, therefore BA is a clockwise moment of magnitude 43.804, and MBC is minus, therefore BC is anti-clockwise. The magnitude is same. And at the end we shall draw the bending moment diagram by superimposition technique. So first of all we have to draw the simply supported bending moment diagram due to the applied loading. So on AB span we have a UDL, therefore a parabolic diagram, maximum value is 62.5, and on span BC we have a point load, so PL by 4, so this comes out to be 50. And on this positive diagram we have to superimpose the hogging moment diagram at the support. So 42.732, then at support B we have a hogging moment of 43, it is shown here, and after superimposition whatever is the balance, that is our net bending moment diagram. These are the references used for the presentation. Thank you.